coming to you live from the campus of Southern Miss. We hope you've learned something new about the CAST, that is Child Advocacy Studies Training. And if you got a college student, or maybe you're one yourself, we hope you're being alerted to all the great opportunities this certification can provide. And it's not just for universities like Southern Miss, it's also for community colleges. So joining us is Miss Melissa Stevens. She's Associate Dean of Population Health at Carey University. So, hey, Melissa.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Which you are not a community college, by the way,
No.
Carey. So I apologize for that. But we had Holmes and Colin on, and they are also offering that. But you guys have bought into the CAST system. So how long and where are you on camp, or how is it connected on campus?
Sure. So I am at the College of Osteopathic Medicine, so at the medical school. And we connected with CACM back in 2016 and initially brought it into our first year curriculum for all of our first year medical students. And then the following year expanded it to an elective for our third and fourth year medical students. And since that time, we've continued to expand, and so now we actually offer the opportunity for any instructor on course to request us to come in and provide special guest lectures or simulations or things like that within their courses so that we can provide the material to any discipline on campus.
What are you hearing from your medical students after they go through it? Because I'm sure at first it's like, yeah, okay, this is great. And then after, do you have changed hearts, changed minds?
Absolutely. So the very first year when I came to the medical school full time, there really was not much in the curriculum, which was not unusual. If you look at medical education in general, it's often a topic that receives fairly, little attention. And so when I first got there, there was very little being done. And so the very first year that I introduced it, which in that very first year was really singly just a lecture that was provided, the first course evaluations I got back, I did get some students who didn't have positive feedback, who said, we don't understand why we're learning about this. Why is this relevant to us as future physicians? And they just really didn't understand it. They didn't know what they didn't know,
right,
and how important it really was. And by the second year, when we had done it, and at the second year, we actually implemented a simulation for them, which I think gave them more experience. It was very real to them. It kind of put it into a whole different context. We had our medical students go compete in a national simulation wars, which medical schools around the country participate in sim wars. And our medical school actually won that year because the final simulation that was done was a pediatric trauma case. And our medical students and their team were the only team to actually recognize that it was a child abuse case and put that on the list of the possible diagnoses for the child in the case and to do a mandated report. And that actually led to them winning the entire competition.
Did you take a picture of the trophy and send it to all of the naysayers?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a really exciting opportunity because when they got back from the competition, they immediately came and found me and said, listen, Dr. Stevens, if it hadn't been for that CAST lecture and simulation, we wouldn't have had it on our radar either. We would not have even thought about that being the possible cause. And so I think it really, with that group in that second year, it really, their eyes were wide open then, and they continued to spread that on. And it's been exciting since then to see it because the students now really do have it at the forefront of their minds when they're seeing children and when they're seeing families. And so they have it on their radar. And so they're recognizing more cases than they ever were recognizing before,
which is
early intervention.
Because early intervention, if you can't prevent, you want to early intervene. And so in terms of that and sort of defeating child abuse, which I think is definitely a good thing. And I've been sitting here all day, Dr. Stevens, thinking, gosh, I want to go back to school so I can take CAST and just see how it would fit into so many different professions. But you guys help bring CAST to the community too. So you don't have to go back to school if you don't
Absolutely.
want to, but you can still sort of get a taste of it that way. So what are y'all doing there?
Absolutely. So we're always happy to go out and teach within the community or even within other educational settings. We kind of jokingly say we have a road crew that takes the show on the road. And so we've really been all over the state and we've gone to all different types of audiences. Sometimes it's been for specific educational events, for example, like to a physician's conference, or we went to one recently through NAM, Mississippi, and did a presentation. But we've also gone into hospitals and done it for their staff. We've gone into churches and done it. We've done it, for law enforcement agencies. Just anybody who will have us, we're welcome to come to them and happy to do that. And I think one of the things that we try to do when we do it is the multidisciplinary team is such an important piece of what we do in child advocacy work. And so we try to model that for them. And so when we take a team anywhere to do our teaching, we try to take a multidisciplinary team. So it's not just me as a physician going, We often will have a social worker that goes with us, or a law enforcement officer, or somebody from EMS, or just a whole host of different people, so that we can really show them what we mean by multidisciplinary, and show them how important everybody's role is, and how we can all collaboratively work together to help these cases get effectively investigated and prosecuted.
Which is definitely a good thing. Dr. Stevens, if people want more information about what you guys are doing at William Carey University, how do they do that?
Absolutely. They can go to the William Carey University website, which is www.wmcarey.edu, and look for the College of Osteopathic Medicine under Population Health and Child Advocacy Studies.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time today. That wraps up Good Things here, but stick with us. You got the Boys with Sports Talk Mississippi coming up next from 3 to 6. Rhino and I will meet you back here tomorrow at 2, but until then, I hope you all find time for the good things.